Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Today we are going to talk once again about GGST Strive. There's a little bit of a new topic that I want to bring in. Well, it's not really new, but it's more something that, people have not done yet. Not really. So I wanted to talk today about the goals and challenges that GGST Strive will have to take on until it comes out. So the reason why I'm doing this video is because there's a lot of talk about GGST Strive. Obviously, a lot of people are not really happy with the game. Some people like it, some people don't like it, and some people are really vocal about the things that they don't like, obviously. And to be honest, there's also a little bit of confusion that is going on with the way the game has been made, especially after people have been playing the beta. There's been a little bit of confusion. It's like people don't really understand what the game is trying to do. I wanted to bring up this topic and put on the table the goals and the challenges of GGST Strive, and for that purpose I have four different articles and interviews that Daisuke and also Akira Katano were on and talked about the game and what they were trying to do with this game. Obviously, people don't really have to agree with these points or disagree. It's just information that it's there. I'll give my opinion. You can give your opinion as well in the comment section after we're done going through the video. So the first thing that we have to talk about is going to be the idea behind Strive. What is the general goal for Strive? What are they trying to do with this game? There's a question in one of the articles that is saying, what is your goal with the reconstruction of the Guilty Gear franchise? What pieces did you think were crucial to keep? So trends of the era or player feedback generally tend to bring about change. That element of change could be called a style. If I categorize Roman cancels into style, then there would be a possibility that it could be removed from our system one day. To Daisuke, it seems like the Roman cancel is not exactly something that defines Guilty Gear. It's more than that. There's another article where he talks a little bit more about Strive and the general goal of it. This one is after the Jaipo exhibition matches with the pro players and all. This is what Daisuke has to say. So the question here is, what makes a game feel like Guilty Gear? The pro players all answered. A lot of people said it's the gatlings and the combos. It's the management of the gauges, things like the mechanics, air-to-air interactions, combos again. Things like creation, freedom, variety of options, and movement, things like that. These are all the answers from the pro players. But Daisuke says something that is more like a little bit more vague, something that is more like less about what's happening inside the game in general. It's more like a concept, if you want. So he says that in the development team, the word they commonly use is mischief. So mischief is going to be the most important word that we have to remember here. It's very important. When we are making the game, we want to include a lot of mischief. So when the players find this mischief, the game becomes more fun for them. That is true. And maybe that's why every character in Guilty Gear is like a Okizeme pressure monster, and they all have this tool that even pushes more the idea of the mischief. Like Roman cancel, you have Roman cancel is pushing the mischief even more because you can do even more stuff with that mechanic. So this game Strive is even more going to be about that mischief, and that's why you have things like FRC, you have things like Drift RC, and even he talks about the air dash. The new air dash in the new Guilty Gear is pretty confusing. It's something that you don't want to deal with. I understand the idea of mischief, I understand the idea of things that you can slide in, but the way it's done currently, it's kind of really scary. Like the way they made the air dash in this game. Like the little delay is a problem. The little timing that people get because they can now land attack faster is also a problem. And especially the fact that people can block in the air is also the biggest issue that I have here. So overall, the thing that he's talking about here is that the idea of Guilty Gear Strive is pretty much that they have a new game. It's not intended to be a general, like a older Guilty Gear game. He's saying that with the trends, people have the taste changing. It used to be this style, this old anime arcade fighting game, you know. They had a lot of people love it for that, but it seems like to them there's going to be less and less of an interest because of that. So they have to change the style of the game. It's more about the style of the game that they're trying to change. Do they nail it? Is it exactly the way they want it to be? Is the game about mischief? Is the style of Guilty Gear changed? Has it changed completely? Yes, they nailed this pretty much. It doesn't matter if people like it or not. The game is definitely different from what it used to be, for sure. So with the air dash, with things like you know, the visual of the game, what it looks like, with the 3 camera, things like that, the game has severely changed. It seems like it's more like a modern game, pretty much, with all the camera work that is going on in there as well. So the first goal has been reached, in my opinion. Now let's talk about more things. For example, the new player experience. This is something that a lot of people talk about as well. They say that, you know, Guilty Gear Strive is not going to be good because it's a game that is supposed to be made for, you know, it's supposed to be a beginner friendly game, like an accessible Guilty Gear game, but it's not really doing well in that sense because things like Gatlings are gone. The game is harder. It's relying a lot more on situational stuff. But there's something that has to be said about this whole idea that Guilty Gear Strive is a beginner friendly game. So remember, once again, the game is about mischief. Everyone is getting baited right now. Everyone is getting mixed up. It says that the older games in their style will fail to get people interested just by looking at them. And he says that especially because it's overly complex, the HUD is overwhelming, you can't tell what's happening on the screen. A large part of our current development philosophy is simplifying it for the spectator, making it look really fun, and that's the thing I think that's going to attract the players. That's not the only thing that they say. There's a little bit more going on. The question is, what is the target audience in mind for Guilty Gear Strive? So they talk about a lot of things here, especially about the mechanics, the combo system, how they change it and all. Like it says, the skilled players for combos and things like that, and the mechanics, skilled players have a sense for these things, but in terms of basics that you need to learn, SK wants to create simple mechanics so it feels like all players start at the same place. Simple, perhaps not the right word here. So we've talked about this in the previous video, right? But for now, we're going to go more in depth into this. Okay, right here. So Akira follows up and they say that he thinks fighting games need some way for viewers to think that I could do that too. If you see something really cool happening on the screen, but you want to feel like you can do that as well as a viewer. But for it to be actually difficult when they try. Basically, he wants Strive to be a difficult game that looks simple. Once again, the idea of mischief, right? Even with the way they want people to see the game, it's a mischief. They want people to feel like, oh man, I can do that too. It seems simple, but then they play the game and you get wrecked. So this idea is kind of interesting to me because it's also something that occurs. It's something that happens for a lot of different games actually. You look at a game like Dark Souls, for example, and you see people getting wrecked all the time. So something that happens when you watch someone getting destroyed in Dark Souls is always like, you watch them, you think they're so bad, and you're like, why didn't he roll there? Like, you know, like you could just roll, you can just backstab, try to parry, come on, something like that, right? And even games like something like ridiculous as Jump King or Getting Over It, it's like these games, they seem super easy. Like there are games that seem incredibly easy, something that happens all the time with a lot of video games, but then you play it and you're like, what am I playing right now? That happens a lot. So that's the same thing that they are talking about here. They want people to just watch the game and feel like they can do the same thing that the other players are doing as well, but then when they try, they're gonna get wrecked. So it seems like the game is not 100% directed to beginner players. Are they nailing this point once again? I don't know. So here's the thing. Guilty Gear Strive, in my opinion, is really fun to watch. I was watching a lot of footage recently again. I was watching like the hi-fi videos and things like that, and it's really fun. It's like super fun to watch. it's nailing that goal on that point. But is it difficult to play necessarily? It's hard to tell, because for now we've played only the beta, right? And the beta is not really a good representation of what the final product is going to be. For example, currently people can just run around and do wide throws and kill you in like 3 wide throw, and that's it. 2 pot busters and you're dead. It seems pretty easy, right? It seems pretty easy, and it's actually easy to do in that sense. Now, there's a lot of things that have not yet been explored, with things like FRC, the other combo routes that you can do, the better confirms. There are things that have not been explored yet in GGST Strive currently. Things like Drift RC even has not been fully explored. A lot of people are still a bit confused about that. Things like the wall mechanic, it's still kind of unclear. When does it break? When does it not break? The big counter hit, when does it happen? When does it not happen? We still don't know exactly when these things occur and how to deal with them. So, but on a basic level, the game is super easy in my opinion. It's not really that hard to play. So I don't really know if we can say that they nail it perfectly. They nail it partially, is like a 5 out of 10 on this point. So we're gonna give them a 5 out of 10 there. It's like half point. The other thing is going to be about the visuals of the game. Things like the dynamic camera, the 3D aspect of the game, how the characters look, how they feel. So there's no clear goal for this one. It's just a personal challenge for them. They just want to really try something cool with the models. They want to make better animations. They want to do more with the camera work. I like it a lot. I think it looks great. When you look at the trailer, the first trailer, the reveal trailer for GGST Strive, it's crazy because you don't realize that all of the things that are happening are in game. Like, it's like they're using this camera to make the game look more cool, you know, make it look smoother and all, but it's actually in game, and the fact that it's in game is even crazier in my opinion. So that's something that they should definitely do. I'm really encouraging them in that part. So finally, there's one more thing that we have to talk about, and that's going to be the UI. The whole point of the UI and everything that they've made with it is that they're trying to get new players to be interested. But is the new UI doing well in that sense? Is it good for new players? No. I think they fail completely in that part. I think even the menus, they don't look cool, they don't look attractive, they don't look very interesting. It's not so much that they have to make it, like, let's say, Guilty Exit, right? It's not so much that they have to keep the same feeling, but they have to have something that is a little bit more inspired. I don't really mind that part, but I think they fail completely in terms of the UI, and it hurts the spectator experience as well, in my opinion. I think it's something that's very important that they have to change drastically. Things like the big positive advantage combo counter is really bad. When you hit 1-8, that's bad. That's bad. But that's it for this video. That's all I wanted to say. So that was the goals. Those were the goals for GGST Strive and the things that it's been doing currently so far. There's going to be future goals. We don't know if they're going to reach all the goals right now. The UI, we don't know if it's going to be the way they want it to be exactly. We don't know if the style for the game, the new player experience, is going to be better than this. Like I said, it's kind of a 5 out of 10 in my opinion for the new player experience, and things like the goal for GGST Strive to be fun to watch and hard to play. You know that. Anyways, that's for this video. Let me know what you think. Do you think they are nailing the goals so far? Do you think they're achieving everything? Do you think they're good at what they're doing so far? Yes or no? It doesn't matter if you like the game or not. Is it working? Is what they are doing working for them or not? That's the point of it. Let me know what you think in the comment section. I'm out.